Hey everybody, welcome back. AM Buffalo is live and on the road in Youngstown now. Next we are going to take you on a tour inside of Old Fort Niagara. And if you're tired this morning, this 18th century wake-up call will sure to get you up and moving. Take a look. And now we are going to take you inside one of the many buildings here at the fort. This is the Provision Storehouse. Built in the early 1700s by the French, it has served many purposes throughout the years. But this morning a special someone is waiting for us. Phil Dickinson, he is the Interpretive Programs Manager here at Old Fort Niagara. And Phil, you see, he wears many hats at the fort. How you doing today?
Good, yourself?
Good. Talk to us about the attire you are wearing.
So I am dressed as a member of the 1st Regiment of Artillery, which is going to be stationed here at Fort Niagara during the War of 1812. And all of our staff will be wearing something very similar to this. We have the big heavy shakos, which are the hats that we're wearing. The wool coats, they're not too bad this time of year, actually. And the bright white trousers that we get to wear.
Talk to us about what it's like being an interpreter.
So basically, we get to teach the public about all the different time periods that have been here. Fort Niagara is very lucky. We've had the French and Indian War, the Revolutionary War, and then the War of 1812. So we get to focus on teaching them a whole bunch of different things that are going on.
Speaking of the War of 1812, that's what this weekend is all about here at Old Fort Niagara. Can you cue us in on what's going to be happening?
So the big thing that we have going on, obviously, is going to be the reenactments. People want to see the battles that are happening, especially Saturday night. We have an evening battle, which is supposed to show the capture of Fort Niagara during the war. We also have other things. You can see different uniforms. It's not going to just be the staff here. We're looking at quite a few other reenactors that will be dressing very differently, but also in a very similar style. And we have games for the kids. We have kids drill where they can learn to use the musket, kind of like a soldier, obviously with toy muskets, but very similar things like that.
All right, well, let's see you get into action. I hear you have something booming for us outside, so what do you say we go and check it out?
I think we can, yeah.
Okay. Phil, you looked great out there, but you should have warned me about plugging my ears.
Sorry about that.
That was great. Now, this is just one of the reenactments that take place here at the fort.
Correct. We have a couple others. We do a French and Indian one, 4th of July weekend, and we also do a Revolutionary one as well. Then we have a timeline event, actually, Memorial Day weekend.
And we are featuring the War of 1812 this weekend, so are we going to see some of this action taking place?
Oh yeah, so we'll have a couple of different artillery pieces. This is just an example of one of them that we use. And you'll see some of them during the battles here and there. The night battle, we actually do pull out some artillery pieces for that as well. So.
Speaking of the artillery, what did you use today?
That was a cohorn mortar, so it's a style of mortar that they would have used during the 18th century. We know that they would have had some here during the War of 1812 as well. And the idea is to lob bombs over a wall.
What would you say would make the most impact during a battle?
Well, it depends. If you're fighting in a siege, like if you're coming at walls like this, then definitely something like that. If you're against infantry, you're going to want a smaller gun, not necessarily the musket, but a smaller artillery piece.
And how often will you be blasting off these cannons?
Not super often. We kind of like to let people know when they're going on, but we do have it all timed out. Noon is when we're going to do our artillery firing. We're actually going to be showing a couple of different styles of artillery at that point.
Phil, thanks so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Oh, was that loud, Bob? And there's going to be more of that this weekend, all starting tomorrow at 9 a.m.
That's right. Our War of 1812 encampment, Saturday and Sunday.
Now, Bob, let's also talk about other events that you have coming up this fall, because it's certainly not over after this weekend.
Well, right. We have a very busy fall planned. We have Fall Frontier Days, which Thursdays and Fridays in September and October. Those are school programs. And we see thousands of school kids. That's sponsored by the Niagara Falls National Heritage Area and the State Parks Connect Kids program. We've also got lantern tours coming up in October for people that are interested in the spooky side. of old Fort Niagara.
There is a ghost tale.
There's quite a few stories associated with the site. Yep.
Yeah. You want to share one with us?
Well, probably the most famous one is the headless ghost in the French castle.
Oh, what happened?
Well, supposedly they were fighting a duel, and one man killed the other and chopped his head off and threw the head in the lake and came back to do away with the body. And he heard someone coming and he had stuffed the body down the well. And the story goes that this headless ghost sits on the well and moans and groans and walks around, looks for his head. And the story's been embellished over the years, so that by the mid-20th century it was really wild.
Just adds to the color, right? Of old Fort
You
Niagara.
may see a few apparitions. Now, Bob, where can we go to learn about the rundown of what's going to be happening this weekend?
Well, we have a website, which is oldfortniagara.org. It has a full schedule of weekend events, plus the fall events that are coming up.
Okay, fantastic. And don't forget, we have these wonderful reenactors, and they come from all over the country, although we're very happy to tell you that this group right here, all from Western New York, and they've been doing this for years, and they wouldn't miss a summer. They look awesome, and don't be surprised, you might see Bob Emerson dressed as a reenactor, too. That could happen, right, Bob?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Hopefully we'll be lucky this weekend.
Listen, Courtney and I want to remind you that we're off on Monday with the rest of you, so we'll see you back here on Tuesday for more AM Buffalo after our weekend edition. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks for joining us.